Hello, this is Miss saying hi to all my developers. If this is your first time watching my video on this channel, the first thing I want you to do is be nice, just subscribe to this channel. Click on the subscribe button so you can always have access to more content like this. Alright now, so shout out to all my Ghanaian developers, junior developers, just starting intermediate. I think Aqua Abba is how they say it. Alright, so I welcome you guys to my channel. In this video, I will be teaching today how to create a Ghanaian flag just using HTML and CSS. I made a video creating German flag. You can check that out also on my channel. I also made a video creating a Nigerian flag. You can check that out as well on my channel. So this time around, I want to make this video for my Ghanaian developers to learn how to create a Ghanaian flag using HTML and CSS. So now let's head over to our UI. Now we have a blank page here. Of course, we have our page set up in our VS Code flag.html. I've connected it to my flag.css. NC right now, we don't have anything written. We only have this H1 that says flag creation using HTML and CSS. So I searched out for the Ghanaian flag. This is what the Ghanaian flag looks like. It's just a simple red, yellow with a blue star in between and a green. That is the Ghanaian flag, right? So how do we create this? First of all, as a developer, you must understand that you're going to be working with product designers, UI, UX designers, and for every design, every software, website you're going to be building, creating, developing, you are likely going to be working as it is in a product design, and you must learn one of the disciplines you must cultivate is ability to follow a design, 100%, and write out your code to replicate what was in the design. All right now. So currently, and the first thing you should do when you get a design is to analyze it. Don't just start writing code, analyze it. How do I achieve this? So this is the flag here. I like this idea of having a pole. So I'm going to have something like a pole here like this. With it, something similar to this. It's going to be a standing pole and a flag, but the flag is just going to be straight like this actually. So I assume that this is an entire container like a div. Inside this div, I want two different elements. One should be a pole and one should be a flag. That's the first thing I want to do. So let's go over now. So I'm going to first have my first overall parent div. I give it a class of container. Inside it, like I said, I'm going to have, so I assume this is the entire div. Inside it, I'm going to have one section for the pole and another section for the flag itself. Right now, so section, I give it an ID of pole. Second section, I give it an ID of flag. Beautiful. So now the flag itself is also, now I assume this is the flag itself. This is the flag. The flag has three different children elements inside. So I want to assume that inside this big section that I give an ID of flag, I'm going to have one div, second div, and third div nested inside. So inside that section, let's write out three divs inside. 1, 2, 3, and I give all of them a class name of flag divs because they are all similar. All right, now if I check our UI, nothing is going to be visible because divs, containers in HTML, without having width and height to it and a background color or a border, it's not going to be visible. So if I save it now and check my UI, let's see, nothing yet, but it's already there. So let me just add a text below H3 that says Ghanaian flag. All right now, so I think that the text should reflect. Now let's make all of those things reflect. First of all, I don't want the flag. You can see the text is by the left. I want them, a little bit centered. So I'm going to shift the whole container to the right. I'm going to give it a margin left to shift it to the right. And also because I don't want it glued to the top. I don't want it so close to this H1. I'm also going to shift it down a bit. I'm going to give it a margin top. So now flag.css. The first thing I'm going to style is the overall parent container. I'm giving it a margin left and a margin top, like I said. And I'm setting the display to flex. I believe you probably might have learned about flexbox. So I'm setting the display to flex right now, and why is that? When you containers by default, most containers, in CSS we have block elements and inline elements. Block elements are block elements. They are this. How do I put them? They arrange themselves top to bottom. But when they are inline or you set them to flex, by default it arranges from left to right. So currently I want this pole and this flag to be arranged left to right. I don't want it to be top and bottom. That's why I'm setting the display of this overall container now to flex, so that the pole can be by the left and the flag can be by the right instead of top and bottom. All right, now let's style the pole. I'm going to give it width of 10 pixel, make it very slim, height of 600 pixel, quite long. I'm going to give it a background color so we can see it, and a border. This border is not compulsory, but I will tell you the reason why I added border, just fancy effect. And I'm going to give it a border radius of 20 pixel to make it look nice. But the border top right radius, I set it to 0. Let's see what we have currently. By now we should be able to see our pole. All right, now, so every other part is curved because I give the border radius of 20 pixel, except this border top right. I set it to 0. I don't want any radius there. I don't want it to curved, and I'll explain the reason why later. So now let's style the flag, the flag container itself. First of all, I'm not going to set the display to flex because we can see that with the flag is actually top to bottom. So I'm going to leave it as an inline, as a block level element. That way, if I set it to display to flex, it's going to set it to red, yellow, green, and that's not what we want. So let's leave it the way it is. Width 440 rem, height of 20 rem, and I'm going to give it a border of 2 pixels solid black. Let's see what that looks like currently. It should start taking form now. All right, it's taking form. Now we need to style the 3 different divs inside it, giving it separate background colors. So remember, I give the 3 of them the same class name. So whatever style I apply to flag divs, it affects the 3 of them. So I give all of them a width of 100. Each of them width of 100%. That is, occupy the entire width. But then height, each of them is going to occupy 33.6%. So remember there are 3. When the first, second, and third, they all take this. Altogether, they've taken 100%. So I'm going to save that. We're not going to see anything yet. So let's give each of them background color. The end of type 1, we'll give it a background color of red. The second will take yellow, while the third will take green. Right now, let's do that. Flag divs. The class of flag divs, end of type 1. This is a pseudo class. Background color of red. The second one, end of type 2, background color of yellow, while the third will take a background color of green. Alright, now our flag should be looking more like it right now. Alright, beautiful. Okay, I think this is a different shade of red. It's not like the normal red. Okay, and this is also a darker shade of, or maybe it's just the picture. This looks brighter, this looks dimmer. Let me see, let me look at this. Alright, this looks brighter. So we'll see what other, we'll see what other shade of red we can change it to. The H3 below it, I don't like the fact that the H3 is, I also want the H3 shifted forward. So I'm going to give it a margin left of 12 rem to shift it to the right. I change the font family to make it a little fancy. I increase the font size and I change the color. And that's been said. Let's see what we have now. Alright, beautiful. So let's see if we can dim the colors of this red. I don't even know. Alright, I don't even know what shade of red that could be, but let me assume it's a little dimmer. Let me use 200. Why this one also? Let me also use 200 for this one. 200 for this. And the green also. Let me dim the green. Okay. Alright, let me just dim them and see if they will look better. So if you are not sure, you can always search for the color code of those All right, I think it's more like it now. Yeah, it's more like it now. All right. So now let me just explain some. Let me explain something. First of all, remember I talked about the display to flex. If I didn't have the display to flex, look at what is going to happen to the pole and the flag. It's going to be top and bottom instead of left and right. Can you see top and bottom? So inside the container, this is because it's an inline. They are both inline. Sorry, they are both block level elements. They stand on their own. So to make them marry each other, so to say, you have to set the parent container, the display of the parent container to flex. Also, I think I did the same thing with okay, let me see. Yes. Now for the flag, I didn't set it to flex. If I set it to flex, it will also stay left to right. Let's try that and see. Flag. Let me set display to flex and see what it's going to look like. Can you see? It's already taking the shape of a different country flag. So I'm going to remove that now. Okay, so also I mentioned giving this pole a 1 pixel, solid white, a border of 1 pixel solid white. I said it's not compulsory. When I remove it, look at the difference. I just added it just to give it a more fancier effect. So look at it. I mean, we can actually leave it like this. Actually, it's not like it's bad though, but just to have that a little flaggish effect. That's why I just added it. Like I said, it's not compulsory. And the border top right radius, I set it to 0. If I didn't do that, this is what I'm going to have. Can you see how kind of disjointed? Let me look at what it's going to look like if I remove this one as well. Let's see how it's going to look like. All right, it's not like we can't leave it like that. We can leave it like that anyway. So anyhow, any way it looks good to you, you can actually leave it. Let me return the border 1 pixel. All right, I think I just like that separation. All right, now and the border top right radius, setting it to 0. It makes this flag kind of join to look exactly. They look like they are connected to each other. All right, now, so I think the only thing that is missing now is this star. So we would go over to Font Awesome. There are many places you can get icons, icons, things like that. You can actually use an image, but I'm going to just use an icon. So I'll go to fontawesome.com. Fontawesome.com. You can get numerous icons. If you've not used it before, you have to create an account. Once you create an account, you register. You have your own kit. You can have a free account. Like I have a free account here. I've been using it for about 3 years, and I've never had to pay for the pro version. So I'm going to click on this. Once you have your kit, the first thing you do is you come to your kit. You copy everyone has a separate code here. I paste this in copy this and paste it into your HTML's head element. So I go back to our HTML now. If I don't put this, the icon is not going to work. So I'm going to paste that. Now I can now go over to search for icons. So I think what we need is a star. Let's hope we'll get something close. Enter. Okay, this is a star. It's not as sharp as what we want to do. This is quite sharp, has sharp edges. This one is a little more sharp, but it's a pro. I have to pay for it, so I think we can just manage this one for now. Let's see if we can get something else. This is also similar. It's not sharp. It's not as sharp. So I can actually do it in different ways. I can actually search for picture of the star in the Ghanaian flag. I can actually get it as an image. This is a star on its own. I can actually import this as an image and place it there, and I can actually use the icon. So maybe we should, if I have to do this, I would have to copy. So I have to import it. Let me just use the icon. So now instead of using the icon, so this icon is not as sharp as I want it to be. Let's use this image. So now going over here, we want that image inside this second div. I think we should make the second one a little brighter. It's too dim. It's too dim. The yellow is kind of too dim. So let me make it a little brighter now. Alright, now I hope it should be better, lighter. Alright, it's better. So we want that star inside here. So we don't need this, since we're no longer using font awesome. We don't need this code again. But if we were to use font awesome, all we just need to do is to place. You will just have to place. Let me just show you. Even though we're not going to use it, I'll just have to click here, click on the star I want to click. I'll copy this code and just place it inside my div. But right now, since I'm not using it, I'll just use it directly. I'll use the image and src. Holy God, what I copied from online. I hope I copied the right thing first of all. This one looks so long. I'm scared I copied the wrong thing. Okay, I don't think I copied the right thing. Let me check again. A normal URL should not be that long. Copy image address. Okay, that's what I did actually. Let's save and see. Oh, okay, it is there, but we will need to remove the background color. So I'm going to pause the video and quickly remove the background, so we can have it looking fixed. Alright, so I've removed the background color. Now the background rather. So I can now pick it here. I save it as star. And don't also get to use alt text image or black star. So let's look at what that looks like now. Alright, now it's looking good enough. So we need to just do a little styling. First of all, let's give this an ID of star. Okay, ID of star is fine. So for the second div, I'm going to set the display to flex. Display flex. Justify content center, align coordinate center. That should set the star in between now. So I just need to adjust the height of that star now. ID of star is what we called it. Let me see if this will be fair enough. Alright, and I think finally in less than 20 minutes we've been able to completely design our Ghanaian flag. Perfect. So you can try this out. It's very simple. Like this video, don't forget, drop in the comment section what you like me to talk about or teach about, or what other fun things you like me to create using HTML, CSS, probably JavaScript, probably React. And finally, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that when I post those videos, you would not miss out. Thank you once again.